Hello and welcome to the On Bike Share System Training. In this video we will be doing an overview of the OBS Admin Portal, the On Bike Maintenance app, and the On Bike Rider app. In the first part of this video we will be reviewing the OBS Admin Portal. The first section I will be covering in this training is the Settings section. In here is where you're going to make all of the necessary changes to edit your system and change the settings within. I will be starting off in the Generals tab. To make any edits to this, click on the Edit button in the top right hand corner. Within the Edit system, we can see that we can change a few things: the system description, support phone number, system country, and system status. Under the system description, this is where you're going to type out a personalized message for your residents or users that they will be able to read in their Rider app. The next section is the support phone number. In this section, you're going to want to put a phone number that your residents or users will easily be able to reach you at. You are responsible for supporting your customers and residents with any issues that they may have, so putting a good phone number in here is very important. Next we have the system country. This by default is set to the US, and we recommend that you leave it as such. The last thing we have on here is the system status. You can set this from closed to open, and by doing so, you're opening and closing your entire system to your residents or users. Setting it to closed will allow you to shut down the system for any reason, such as storage or maintenance purposes. Always remember to click on the Save button before exiting the page. The next section I will be covering is the Rentals tab. In this section, this is where you're going to be changing all of the settings that have to do with the rentals themselves. To make edits, again head to the Edit button in the top right hand corner. This will open the Edit Rentals configuration page. From here we can see a few things: max open rentals, rental warning length, change location with finishing rental, use custom warning message, and time restrictions. For max open rentals, this by default is set to 1, and this number determines how many bikes a single user can rent up to at a single time. We recommend keeping it at 1 because every single user will have to agree to a waiver. If you feel that you want to change this number to 2, 3, or more, please revisit your waiver and change the waiver accordingly. The next section we have is rental warning length. Here is where you can set a rental warning length time limit. After the allotted time that you've selected, a notification will be sent out to your users, letting them know that they need to return the bike. Most people don't utilize this section, especially those who are at residential properties, corporate campuses, or universities. The next section we have is change location with finishing rental. By checking this off, you are allowing the system to utilize the different stations and change the bikes to the station that they're returned at. If you only have a single station, then this setting is not needed. The next goes hand in hand with the rental warning length, which is the use custom warning message. Here you can type out a personalized message that will be sent to your residents. An example of a custom warning message is something like this. You can make this anything that you would like, and this message will be sent to your residents after the allotted time that you've selected in the rental warning length section. The next section we have is time restrictions. This is where you're going to set up the time restrictions for the open and close time for your system. This is useful if you want to limit the amount of time that your residents have access to the bikes. The first thing you're going to want to do is set the time zone. For example, we are in the Eastern time zone, and I will select on that. Next, I'm going to set the open system time sometime in the morning. This can be anything that you choose. Lastly, we're going to set the closed system time. Our recommendation is to set the closed system time when it starts getting dark out to ensure the safety of your riders. Once this is all set, remember to click on the Update button to save your changes. Next we have the User tab. This is where you can set up client payment method and your auto-activate user options. By clicking into Edit, we can see that we are now in the Edit User Activation policy, and we have two options. First option is the client payment method. By clicking on this, you're enabling credit card requirements for your users. Your system is a free amenity system, but this will just incentivize and prevent any damage that may occur to the bikes because people tend to treat the bikes with more respect when they have their credit card placed on the application. Next, we have the Enable Auto Activate Users option, and there are three options in here. We have Activate All Users, Enable Email Restrictions, and the last one that isn't present here is the Manual Activate. So activating all users will just activate any user who joins your system. Enabling email restrictions will allow you to set specific email domains. So if you're a corporate campus or university, this is very helpful and will auto-activate any user who signs up with an eligible email domain. The last one that isn't present on this list is the manual activation. This will ensure full control over who gains access to your system and is the most secure option out of the three. Again, make sure you're always clicking on the save button. Next, we have the branding, which will already be in here prior to this training. We will take the artwork that you submitted to us and upload it in here. This logo will appear on the front page of the Rider app. If you ever want to change your logo, please see the Upload a System Logo option here. There are certain parameters that you do need to have in order before submitting a picture. The next section is the waiver. All riders will be required to read and agree to the terms below. You can also edit this waiver directly in the portal. You can bold, underline, add additional text if you want to, and add links if you need. Always remember to click on Save. The last tab under the settings is the admin section. This is where you can add new admins to your system. To add a new admin, you're going to want to select on the Add button in the top right-hand corner. From here, you're going to want to enter their first name, last name, and the email of the user you wish to add. Below here are specific admin permissions that you can select on and off to give us each specific user a set of permissions on the system. When you're done selecting the permissions, click on the Create button. This will then send an email notification with a link to create your password. From there, you will use your email and your password to log into the admin portal. Now that we've covered the settings, let's go into the bulk of the software. We're going to be starting off on the dashboard. As you can see in here, we have rentals, users, bicycles, and customer support. The dashboard is a visual interpretation of everything going on in your system. Each one of these numbers is actually a tab that will direct you to a certain page on the system. If we select into active under rentals, it'll bring us to the active rentals page. If we select on completed, it'll bring us to the rental history page. Same thing for the users, as well as the customer support and bicycles. This is very helpful if you want to go directly to a specific page. For example, if you're looking to accept members into your system, you're going to want to head to the pending section here, select on the number, and it'll bring you to the users tab, showing you all of the pre-filtered pending users. Additionally, if we look at the customer support section here, we can see that there's an open and a closed section. The open section is highlighted in red, and if this number is anything but 0, you know that there's an open customer support ticket that needs your attention. You can select on this, and it'll bring you to the created, assigned, and in progress pre-filtered tabs for your customer support section. For the bikes tab, you can see that we have 6 active bikes and 1 in maintenance. This section is helpful for knowing which bikes are currently active and which ones have been placed in maintenance in the past. Right now, we can see that there's 1 in maintenance, and if we select on it, you can see that that bike is number 1, the power level is at 89, and if you have no open customer support tickets for this bike, and you know that the bike is in working order, you can just go ahead and reactivate that bike. Think of the dashboard as your central hub for the entire system. The next section is rentals. Under the rental section, we can see that there are 2 tabs, one for active rentals and one for rental history. Under the active rentals tab, you will see all rentals that are currently being used by your rider. Right now we can see that bike number 2 is currently being rented by Matthew. If you select on this rental, it'll pull up the rental details page with more information regarding that rental. If for some reason that a rental is not ended by a user, you can always force end the rental by clicking on this button here. By selecting on this, you can see the rental was finished successfully, and if we head back to the active rentals page, we can see now that that rental is no longer active. If we select on the rental history tab, we can now see that that bike number 2 that was previously rented is now recorded in here. This section will record all rentals that have ended successfully. You can review these rentals by selecting on them and seeing the details of each rental. The next section we have is users. This is where all of your user information will be submitted. You will have your user's first and last name, their email, their phone number, the status of the user, which can be active, pending, or banned. You'll be able to see the accept waiver, date, and then the rest of the information on here is just basic information like device information and app version. If we go and select on pending and filter, we can see that we have a few pending users. For those of you who have chosen to do the manual activate option in the settings, you're going to want to come here to activate any pending users that are waiting to be approved. To do this, you would select on the user, and in the top right hand corner there's this blue activate button. Select on this button to activate a user. If you activate a user by accident and you need to ban them, navigate back to the active status option and click on filter. Select on the user, and in the top hand corner where that activate button used to be will now say ban, and you can select on this and ban the user. If you do this by accident, you can always reactivate the user by doing the same action. Additionally, if you want more information on a specific user, you can always look at the Rentals and Reported Problems tabs up top here. By selecting the Rentals tab, you will be able to view all of the rentals that that specific user has rented in the past. If you go over to Reported Problems, you will be able to see any customer support tickets that this specific user has submitted in the past as well. The next section is bicycles. This just holds all the information for each one of your individual bikes. It'll show you the bike number, the status of the bike, the location of the bike if you have multiple stations, the serial number, the MAC address lock, and the power level. This is very helpful for managing the power level of your locks and knowing when to change out your batteries. If you see any of these get below 40%, we highly recommend changing out the batteries in your locks. If one of your bikes is damaged, you have the option to come in here, select on the bike in question, and go over to the Actions tab. From here, you will have the option to place this bike in maintenance mode. Putting this bike in maintenance mode will temporarily remove the bike as an option to be rented. And you can always put the bike back into active mode by doing the same action. Additionally, within the same page, you can look further in on the details of any specific bike. You can look at the rentals of a specific bike, as well as any reported problems on that specific bike as well. The next section is the stations. There's not a lot that you need to do in here, other than just making sure that your addresses are correct and that the status of your station is active. We can see that this station is inactive, and I'm going to show you how to activate it. To activate it, click on the station and go to the Actions button in the top right hand corner. You will be able to see an Edit button and an Activate button. Select on Activate to activate this station. You will get a notification, and now you can see that that station is active. The last section we're going to cover is the customer support. Now, this section is important if you are doing your own maintenance because it'll allow you to track and log all of your maintenance reports directly in here. Additionally, it will allow all of your users to submit customer support tickets to inform you of any issues that are going on with the bikes. Now, if you opted in for our OBS maintenance plan, this section isn't as important in terms of maintaining your maintenance logs, but it is still equally as important in collecting and knowing any issues that come in from your users. As you can see, there is currently a support ticket in here for bike number 2. If you select on the subject line, you can see all of the problem details for that specific ticket. You will be able to see the reporter, the bike number, the location, the status, the priority, the problem, the reported comment. In this case, the bike will not disconnect from the rack. You will also be able to see the date it was created and the date it was last modified. A user can select a photo to submit and attach to the problem report. As you can see, this is a photo of the bike. Additionally, you can go into the Actions tab and either assign or close out the ticket. Assigning the ticket will allow you to assign it to a specific admin user. This is useful if you have an on-site bike mechanic. To close out the ticket, you would select on the Close button, select Yes, and you can see the issue was closed successfully. Now, if we head back to the Customer Support tab, we can see that the support ticket is now set to Closed instead of Created. This will allow you to know which customer support tickets are open, which ones are currently being worked on, and which ones have been finished and closed. The next part of this tutorial video, I will be taking you through the on-bike maintenance app. I will show you how to log in and how to use it. The purpose of the maintenance app is to allow an admin to unlock the bikes from the racks using admin privileges. This is helpful for storing the bikes as well as performing maintenance on the bikes. This app will allow you to remove the bikes from the rack without going through the entire rental process. The first thing that you need to do prior to logging in is head out to the bikes because you will need to utilize Bluetooth connection in order to connect to the bikes. You will need to be within 5 to 10 feet of the bikes in order to do this. Once you are out by the bikes, you will need to open the app and log in using your username and password that you created during the admin portal training. Now that you're logged in, you will need to allow the app to use your Bluetooth. After this, the app will automatically start searching for your bikes and pulling them up one by one. Once the bike loads up on your screen, you can select on the bike and it'll open up the bike details page. It will take a few seconds for the page to load, but you'll know it's been loaded when the unlock button turns blue. Once the unlock button has turned blue, you can select on this to unlock the bike from the rack. You will know that an unlock was successful when a prompt appears on your screen saying success. Next to the unlock button is a report an issue button. After selecting this button, you will be given 3 options: damaged bike, lock issue, and other. Under damaged bike, this will allow you to select a part of the bike from a diagram that indicates which part is damaged. You may also add a comment and images of the damaged part. Under lock issues, this is where you can report any problems that you notice regarding the locks. Again, you can leave a comment and a picture. Anything you submit through the maintenance app will appear on your admin portal under customer support. These reports are only seen by you and is helpful in logging maintenance issues on your system. In the final part of this training, I will be going over how the Rider app works. To start, a rider must download the OnBike app. After downloading, open the app. You will be met with a screen requesting your phone number. Enter in your phone number for the phone that you are using, and after a few moments, you will receive a text message containing a 4-digit code. Enter this code into the field provided. After entering your code, you will be brought to a profile info page. Enter your first name, your last name, and your email into the appropriate fields. Click on Submit to create your rider profile. The next page will prompt you to enter the name of the system you would like to join. The name of the system is typically located either on the bikes or the racks. Once you find your system, select on Join System. Read and agree to the waiver, and wait for your admin to approve you. If you are at a corporate campus or university, the system may be set up to accept certain email domains. If you log in using your company or school email domain and the system you are joining is set up to accept those domains, you will be accepted automatically. After being accepted, you will be able to rent the bikes by selecting on the Available Bikes button. Please wait a few moments for the app to discover the available bikes, and soon enough you will see the bike numbers start to populate. Select on the bike number that you wish to rent and listen for the lock to beep. The lock will beep 7 times, and during that period of beeping, you will be able to remove the bike from the rack. To return the bike, all you need to do is securely dock the bike back into the rack and walk away. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful, and if you need further assistance or resources, please find all the necessary links and contact information on this page. We thank you again for the purchase of your bike share system, and we look forward to working with you. Have a fantastic day and enjoy riding.